Hello everyone, Chrisa is here, and today for the exercise of the week we have something like a stretch. And I say something because it really depends on how deep you want to go and how much you want to work. But the idea behind it, even if you turn it, doesn't matter if you turn it into an exercise or if you want it to be more of a stretch, the idea behind it is that we want to have an understanding of the different positions that our body takes and how when we're moving there is no need to overactivate muscles that in fact help us hold. So when your intention is not to hold, then you need to have a different understanding of your posture. And by different, I mean not as something that you hold, but as something that changes as you move in order to support your intentions. So enjoy. Make sure that you're not pushing to a limit that feels uncomfortable. Make sure you're not creating discomfort. And you're doing it right if you can breathe freely and you can gently transition from one position to the next without feeling any discomfort, without having to stop, without and without feeling any pinching in the muscles, any slight, anything that makes you think this is not quite right is probably because it is not. So if moments like that occur, take a step back and try it again. Okay, we start from a 0 position and then we gently switch over to a 1-foot balance, and we're just projecting and bringing that leg back in. And you'll notice that, the standing leg bends a little bit. There is a little bit of a spring. There is also a twist, and there's some flexion in the hip, in the standing hip as well. So nothing stays still. We're not holding onto this position. And then adjusting everything, you step deep into a lunge. And how deep really depends on you. But as you can see, my front foot is not straight forward. It is on a diagonal. And now that I'm reaching back, I am not going straight back. I'm going a little bit to the side and back. What we call in axis syllabus oscillation. So you're following a curve and not a straight line. And similarly, as I'm going forward, I am twisting and I'm bending forwards. And doing that, you'll also notice that you need to adjust your weight a little bit. Coming back to center, I push off my back foot and come up again as high up as you like. And a reminder here that I used when I was doing this exercise, check your breathing, check to feel through the different parts of your body, and then you get into rotation towards one side and gently rotating towards the other side. And you will notice here that there are micro movements happening, and your upper body changes its position as you go through and allow for these movements to happen. So we're going to go over to the other side, and you can take as much time as you want in this in-between phase where you can do a quick scan of how everything feels. And again, we're going through this gentle swing, and this is always, again, a good pointer is to check with your breathing every now and again and see if you're breathing freely and you don't feel that you're holding your breath, things are good. Most likely. Here you'll see me stepping a little bit deeper just to give you a couple more options, and I want to take your attention to the front knee. Notice that it's not 90 degrees, to the back knee that it's not locked, and to my back foot where you see all it is an internal rotation in the hip and all 5 toes are on the floor. And here you can see a little bit of the curve in the body that I was talking about before, where again we don't have a direct curve to the side but not also a direct curve to the back. And here too, not a straight forward bend nor a straight simple twist. So everything is like more of a triangulation than a rectangular shape, and more of a spiral and a curve than a straight line. And again, come up and check, do a quick scan through the body, make sure that you're not holding your breath and that you're breathing freely. And when you're ready, you go into twist to one side. And here too, you'll notice that things become much more difficult if you hold and you try to keep your shoulders square. Notice how my shoulders are not at the same level. There is a slight difference. And then as you're going over to the other side, nice and gently, managing that transition, again, that the alignment of the shoulders changes, and your hips also want to move slightly. So you have a sliding, a sliding relationship in the hips. Now I want us to take a look of what this would look like if you didn't allow for all this movement to happen. So if you kept things square, and especially if you held in the core. So see how, notice the isolation in the leg, and I invite you even to try this. So you can, but I'm pretty sure you can see it in the video. Then the transitions become much more difficult because there is not, you don't allow yourself to adjust through these positions. And so the transitions become a little bit more robotic and controlled. And you might also feel you need to really work to hold these positions again, compared to before. Also, you will probably feel you can't go as deep. Sometimes we blame flexibility for that, but it might be flexibility as well, but most of the times it's how we initiate the movement and how we set our intention through. And you can see it here too, where my twists are much more restrained because I'm trying really hard to keep my shoulders and my shoulders square and my hips steady. So if you do try it along with me, let go. You're probably feeling that your breath was not freely flowing. Take a nice deep breath and try it once again, allowing for all these micro movements to happen. And this version will show you a gentler option if you don't want to go really deep into that lunge at the back. But you can see here how the transition is much smoother, how I'm committing to continuously moving through the positions, even in the places like this where I'm pausing, but I'm not holding. There is a continuous movement. And you see how the legs adjust to help. So if you need to bend that knee a little bit at the back, you do. If you need to go a little bit forward or a little bit back, you do, right? And you will notice here that the collaboration allows you to find paths to that end position that might not have been available or obvious to you. So this is just an option to show you that you can do all of this even if you want to stay higher, and to invite you to try things at your own level and your own pace, and just finding these curves and these triangulations that are very much prominent in the structure of our body. So try to explore them through this exercise / stretch. See if you can get them later in your dance.